One Man Bands is back, but it does feel somewhat less impressive when I'm just doing a two-man band. Who cares? It's fun. Hello there, ladies and gents, and welcome back to One Man Bands, the channel where I take popular musical artists and write songs inspired by their style. Today we're revving up the El Camino and the Ford Torino and taking a drive down to Ohio to plagiarize the Black Keys. They are a two-man band consisting of singer-slash-guitarist Dan Auerbach and drummer Patrick Carney. These guys are perfectly poised to deliver no-nonsense bluesy goodness. There aren't any frills on their music, just solid songwriting and catchy grooves from both members. Dan Auerbach is firmly rooted in bluesy riffs. You're not going to find many extended chords and hybrid picking in his playing. What you will find is straightforward and effective guitar playing that gets people singing along and leaves lots of space for his vocal lines. For the guitar tone, I just use this Fender amp sim and then throw on my Big Muff in the choruses for some extra beef. There's nothing too flashy going on. What I would suggest though is using a slapback or room reverb, or even just using the room mics that you might have on any guitar plugins that you're using. That gets you pretty close to having that live, in-your-face, raw guitar sound. So let's start with a riff. I think what makes the Black Keys so memorable is that all of their riffs are singable. And in some cases they literally are sung. Take Howlin' For You. There's this super memorable riff that everybody's very familiar with. It's beautifully put together in a way that not only makes it catchy enough to be a guitar riff, but also simple and straightforward enough for it to be sung. And that's exactly what they do. They have an entire gang vocal section singing the riff at you in the chorus. So I came up with this riff that I think is not only playable, but singable. It's so singable, in fact, that I think I'm gonna make it my chorus. Dan likes to use more open chords and funky rhythmic strumming patterns in his verses, like in Lonely Boy. And then switch over to power chords in the choruses to give a bit more punch. So in my verses, I think I'm going to do something similar. I'm just playing a really simple 4-to-1 chord progression. Is it 4? 6-to-1. 6-to-1? I'm just playing a really simple 4-to-1 chord progression that's super easy to sing over, so it means I can have some fun being a bit more rhythmic with my strumming. I've been lonely, tangling with my only regret. A high-brow redhead, honey on the beadspread. Then when we hit the chorus, we'll switch on the power chords and the Big Muff. Talkback Sugar, you got a lot of love for such a little user. Whistling your tune in mono, you'll be kicking gas in alleyways tomorrow. It's not rocket science, but it is super effective to turn up the energy when we're not dealing with a ton of instruments. That being said, although Black Keys are technically a two-man band, they're not afraid of using other instruments in their songs. So I added some bass and some bluesy organs just to beef the song out a little bit. Patrick Carney has a very unique drumming style. While he's quite self-deprecating about his actual technical drumming ability, I would argue that it's his approach to playing drum beats that makes the Black Keys sound so instantly recognizable, aside from the voice of Dan Auerbach, obviously. If you listen to most of the Black Keys' major hits, you'll notice that Patrick Carney's right foot, that is the kick drum, and then the left hand, normally the snare drum, are almost always playing the same thing relentlessly throughout the entire track. The right hand switches up between the floor tom, hi-hats, cymbals, even ghost notes on the snare drum to vary up the energy from section to section, but for the most part you've got the same relentless grooves driving throughout the length of the song. Here's the drum beat from the intro of Lonely Boy. Here's the drum beat from the verse. And here it is from the chorus. Now, if we take away the right hand in all of these instances, here's what you get. So Patrick Carney acts like an old-school blues drum machine, relentless and punishing with his unstoppable bluesy grooves. I think this speaks to the songwriting style of the Black Keys, taking something as simple as a groove or just a feel and then seeing where it takes you rather than approaching it in a more contrived way. They speak about writing and recording songs very quickly when it comes to putting an album together, and this is a great way to do that. Find a groove or a feel that gets you excited and gives you a good energy, and then just let that take you where it needs to go rather than letting the songwriting process get too convoluted. I'm very guilty of that myself. In this same way, my whole Black Keys song actually started just with this beat. And as I move through the song, this beat never changes. I just choose a different timekeeping device with my right hand. Even in the breakdown section where my left hand does move away from the snare, look at what I'm doing. The beat is actually the same. This beat has so much drive and energy that it's good enough to carry the rest of the song, in my opinion, hopefully. And that's what makes Patrick Carney's drumming style so special. It's not excessive or flashy, but it is the feel of the song, and that's what drives it to where it needs to go. A big part of the sonic profile of the Black Keys is undoubtedly Dan Auerbach's vocal sound. It's saturated and fuzzy and warm and distorted and bluesy as hell. Whatever that means. Here's what my vocals sounded like before. I've been lonely, tangling with my only regret. And here they are run through my blues vocal chain. I've been lonely, tangling with my only regret. I may not have Dan Auerbach's voice, but can't lie, it goes a long way to getting that Black Keys feel. Lyrically, you just need to close your eyes and imagine yourself in a sepia-filtered American town, probably Nashville, with a Cutlass parked outside and just sing that heartbreak away. The Black Keys make no secret of their love of country blues music and artists like Junior Kimbrough, and those simple but effective lyrics go a long way to making the songs really easy to sing along to. That's kind of the whole point of blues and folk music, is that you can hear it once and then sing it 1,000 times over. So I dreamed up an American Honey to sing about and threw in some car references and music studio references, I guess. That came out of somewhere, and came up with a line that I thought was fun enough to title the song. It linked in nicely with what I was saying earlier about making the riff singable. So where I had this riff, that essentially turned into Talkback Sugar, you got a lot of love for such a little user. Whistling into the motto, you'll be kicking cans in alleyways tomorrow. and that felt appropriately bluesy. So hopefully on all subsequent listen-throughs, when you hear that opening riff, you link it immediately with the vocal hook in your head. Backing vocals are also kept fairly simple, with a lot of the main backing vocals in Black Keys songs just being like a double of the main vocal hook, essentially an octave up. You can hear that in Lonely Boy, you can hear it in Howlin' For You, it's all over the place. So I did the same thing for my chorus. So let's get down to it, and I'll play you the song. It's not flashy, it's not overcomplicated, but I hope you'll feel that I've captured the blue heart of the Black Keys. As ever, if you enjoy it, please leave a like, comment which band I should do next, and subscribe so you can see when I do. This is my song inspired by the Black Keys. It's called Talkback Sugar. Enjoy!
Maybe I'm a star, but you're a supernova.